and I was very honored by a standing ovation. It's very hard to get a standing ovation from an Iowa crowd, as you know.
There you go, Donald Trump in central Iowa tonight. What he's saying about a possible run for president in 2016 and who he says is most likely the Democratic nominee. Our other top story tonight, the next presidential election is still 3 years away, but in Iowa, it never is too soon for a presidential hopeful to stop by.
Some big-name Republicans stopping at a leadership summit in Ames today. The biggest name of the night was Donald Trump, and he sat down with our Shayna Humphreys to talk about 2016.
Well, Todd and Emily, despite the fact that no one has officially said they're going to run, it was looking a whole lot like 2016 today in Ames, with Senators Rick Santorum and Ted Cruz being two of the most likely potential candidates, but nobody was more buzzed about than Donald Trump.
He's just as coy as any other potential candidate when asked about 2016.
We'll see what happens. The country is doing poorly. We'll see what happens.
But he's not quite as shy when asked if he could be the right man for the job.
I think so. I mean, I built a tremendous company in a relatively short period of time. It's a phenomenal company, one of the best. And yeah, I would certainly think so.
Trump spoke Saturday to a crowd of religious conservatives at the Family Leaders Leadership Summit. If he decides to run, he'll need to impress the entire Republican Party, which he acknowledged wasn't fully represented at the summit.
The Republicans are going to have to unify. Regardless of what they're doing, they're going to have to unify because you do almost have two parties, and it's not a good thing for them.
Another problem for the divided Republican Party, he says, is the most likely Democratic nominee. He believes that will be former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton.
I just think it's set up for her. I think the polls obviously are bearing out what I'm saying, and I think she'll be a tough candidate.
Trump says whoever runs against the Democratic nominee will need to be an expert on fiscal issues.
Well, I think social issues are important for the Republican Party in particular, and I think that they will take a stage, but I really think it's going to be about the economy, it's going to be about jobs, it's going to be about the fact that China is ripping us like nobody's ever ripped us before.
But for Saturday's crowd of social conservatives, he still made sure to round all of the social issue bases.
And by the way, I am pro-life. Traditional marriage. Second Amendment, 100%.
He says he'll make his decision.
Now, this was the second annual leadership summit held by the family leader. But if the star-studded lineup and national media in attendance were any testament, looks like the event will continue to be an important stop for Republican candidates in the future. Emily?
Shayna, Mr. Trump is obviously known for his business and his empire. Did he mention what he would do with his empire if he were to become president?
You know, he did. He said he would definitely focus on the presidency, and then he mentioned his daughter Ivanka and other family members. He said they would take care of the business, so it would be in good hands, and if not, he said then he might have to say you're fired, even to them.
Oh boy. Thank you, Shayna.